Hey guys, my name is Brendan Neal. Um, I chose to do the case Cook versus Colgate University. This is a case that caught my eye mainly because when I was reading through, I was reading through the multiple cases, and this one stuck out to me because it dealt with Title IX, which is something that I'm sure a lot of people know about, but me in particular, I never really have fully understood what Title IX means. Basically, I mean, I knew it's uh, you know men's and women's sports are supposed to be treated equally, but I've never really gone in depth on it in any of the classes I've taken. So I was hoping that by reading this case, I would hopefully get a better understanding of what Title IX is about. So anyway, to begin with, Colgate University is a private university. Uh, they have a men's varsity team, hockey team, and a women's club team. If you don't know the difference between those, basically the varsity team is the team that's sponsored by the school. They get the funding, they get the nice facilities, um, and they have the coaching staff that coaches them. While a club team basically receives minimal funding from the school, they get to use the secondhand facilities. There's generally no coaching. Basically, the players coach themselves. The club route's a good route to go if you're just someone who loves to play the sport, but you weren't able to play on the team at that school like you were wanting to maybe, or maybe you just didn't want to play the varsity route, just want to go the club route, more laid back. Um, I mean, they both have their pros and their cons. Um, so anyway, uh, there were four girls that decided to sue Colgate University because every they felt that Colgate was in violation of Title IX, and Colgate has a um, way for you to submit or apply for varsity status, and you're able to do it once every 2 years. And these girls did it in 1979, 1983, 1986, and 1988, and they were denied all those years. So these four girls decided that they were going to sue the school uh, in violation, saying they were in violation of Title IX. Their argument was that the men's team was treated more, had received more opportunities and more benefits than the women's club team did, and that there was no justification for them to do so. Um, so the court, or so the case went to court, and the court actually ruled in favor originally of the for the girls, the plaintiffs, stating that there really was no justification for the men's team being at varsity status and the women's team being at club status. However, the court ruled in favor of the plaintiffs, then the defendants, which would be Colgate University, then appealed, saying that the plaintiffs that the case should be thrown out because it's mute, because the plaintiffs so that were not going to have any interest in the ruling by the time uh, the ruling was finished. Basically, the court said that in the start of the 1993-94 school year, that Colgate University was going to have to update their um, club status from the women's hockey team to varsity status, and Colgate University said that the girls who were suing them weren't even going to be on the team by then, so there's no legal obligation for them to do so because the girls have no interest um, in the outcome of this court ruling. Um, they then lost my spot here. So they went back to the court, and the judge actually overturned and agreed the um, with Colgate University, the defendants, stating that if so basically what I got out of it is what I got out from the book was that if the plaintiffs would have decided to sue on basically if they would have represented the entire team, the entire women's hockey club team, that regardless of if they graduated or not, they still would have had an interest in the outcome, and the ruling would have went forward. However, the four girls sued, and they sued for damages on their own behalf. And like I said, because of them being graduated by the time that 93-94 season kicked in, and their uh, time or their eligibility to play had run out, that they no longer benefited from this court case, and the court case should be thrown out and ruled mute. And that is actually what happened. The district court overturned the ruling and was sent on and was ruled on as to be thrown out because the court case was mute. I thought that was interesting. That's something I never heard of. I didn't know that was possible, so I enjoyed reading about it. It was actually pretty interesting. I got a lot out of it, and I was just happy to learn something new today. So that's my case study.